What is up, guys? It is Joe here from Joe Talks Wrestling, and it is that time of year once again. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring you my 2025 Joe Talks Wrestling room tour. Let's go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Starting things off, outside the door, nothing has changed. We go into the room, and there it is. I'm not going to lie to you. There hasn't been many updates this year. We will start off right at the top. We've got my poster from Bully, a couple of Joe Talks Wrestling thumbnail plaques, some of my custom-made WWE Thunderdome commemorative plaques. Moving down, we've got a framed photo of my victory when I won the Ultimate Sacrifice Championship on December 15th last year. Hell of a memory is that. Another Thunderdome commemorative plaque. This was when I was front row for Hell in a Cell. You can see me there in the photo with Drew and Randy Orton. Moving over again, we've got the whole Sacrifice Pro Wrestling year crew, if that makes sense. They take a ring photo of all the crew once a year, and this is this one. We've got some ticket stub commemorative plaques from when I went to Raw years ago, 2010 when I was a kid there, and then the one below it, 2011. We've got the note that my old school form tutor, Gwig Lit, gave me when I left school. I hold that very dear. We've got my custom YouTube awards that I made years ago for 100, 500, 1,000 and 5,000 subscribers. We've got a poster here for my first ever main event. This was El Gentonio versus Ricky Calve for the UBW British Heavyweight Championship at Summer Jam 2024. I hold this match in very high regard. I feel like this is where I, as a competitor, really stepped up a gear. And I hit the next level. My first main event against one of my best friends. Thank you, Ricky Calve. Moving down, we got the first wrestling poster I ever featured on. This was supposed to be my singles debut, but unfortunately I was injured. I still had a promo and a little segment on the show anyway, so it made sense for me to be on the poster, but sadly I did not wrestle on that show. Over here, we got another poster with me on. I'm on there with Harrison Leon, who was Square One champion at the time. BC Knight and Progressive Overload, which are one of the best up-and-coming tag teams in the country. Moving down, these are some balloons that my girlfriend Ellie got me for my singles debut as a congratulations present. I've put them in there as I didn't really know what to do with them, and as she had penned on them, it's mainly turned to dust. So if I mess around with this and change anything, the whole thing is going to crumble. Moving down again, another UBW poster, this time for Collision Course 24. We got UBW Square One Academy champion Harrison Leon, Arthur Scurro, Adonis Payne, now known as Chris Aries, at the time UBW British Heavyweight champion Hugo Bloom, Jackson Hart, Progressive Overload, and at the time the UBW Women's champion Ronnie Knox. That's from February 3rd last year. We got this awesome JTW Wrestling Joe Anthony plaque that used to light up. Zach bought this for me years ago. It's a still awesome piece in my room, but sadly it does not light up anymore. If we move all the way back up, we got this awesome paint by numbers that my girlfriend Ellie got me of both of us. She painted that all by herself, which is pretty cool. Moving down, we got all of my old games. I've got some Nintendo 64 games in custom cases. A few of them up there, just not in cases. NES game, my GameCube games, my Switch games, and then my DS and 3DS games. I've got custom spines on all of these. I hate the fact that these games have blank spines. The actual writing on them, on 90% of them, is either just plain white with lettering, or it's just boring. So I've added custom ones. I was inspired to do this by the Switch Spines subreddit on Reddit. They create a load of these, which are really awesome to jazz up the Switch boxes, so they're not just a big red strip. But I did it for every game I own, pretty much. So there you go. We got a Pokeball. We've got a Duff. This rock here is actually meant to be a Nintendo Switch controller. My niece Tilly made this for me a couple of years ago when she was about 3 or 4, and I still keep that. This El Gentonio custom Funko Pop that my girlfriend Ellie got me once again. Moving down, we've got this Undertaker commemorative urn 21-0, a custom Joe Anthony, Seth Rollins style JTW backyard wrestling figure that's awesome, once again bought by my girlfriend Ellie. We got a Joe Talks Wrestling light box. If I move this out the way, we've got all of my wrestling games. I've got all of the 2K games on PS3, the SmackDown vs. Raw games on PS3, a load of PlayStation wrestling games, Xbox 360 games, a few PS2 games, and that's everything on that shelf. If I move down one more time, this is my Harry Potter shelf. I've got first editions of all the Harry Potter books, got the DVDs, and then I've got the Ultra HD 4K collection. We got a Cursed Child booklet and the Cursed Child screenplay, a couple of wands, some chocolate frogs from the Making of Harry Potter studio tour in London, some more wands. Down there, just some more DVDs, and then down there even further, we got a couple of wrestling related books. We got some like Raw ones, Daniel Bryan, Chris Jericho, Rey Mysterio, a few Minecraft books there as well. Just a massive jumble of stuff. Here we've got the old JTW World Heavyweight Championship. This is a Fandu Big Gold replica. My custom Money in the Bank briefcase on the floor that I made years ago. My foam roller, my gym towel, a few Pepsis, a backpack, and yeah, that's pretty much this side of the room. If we go to the other side, starting on this wall, we got some posters. Nothing's changed here from last time, all still the same. On top of my TV, though, we got the Mini Joe that Kip Clips gave to me after he used in a video years ago. And on top of that Mini Joe is the version 2, I think, El Jantonio mask. This was made by Ophidian, also known as Closet Champion on social media. He made me this mask ages ago, and as you can see, it has suffered a lot of ring use. I don't tend to wear this one much these days, just because it is severely beaten up. But I do wear it on the occasional show if I have to. Moving down, we've got an Ocarina, an Apple Watch charger, my old CRT TV, alongside my PlayStation 1, my Super Nintendo, my Nintendo Entertainment System, and my Nintendo 64. On top of that, we've got just some pre-workout and some protein bars. We've got charger, PlayStation 3 controller, TV here. This is one of my TVs. I've got my Nintendo Switch. Got an underwater camera case for my DJI Pocket 2. My PlayStation 3, my Wii, my Xbox 360, which you can barely see, GameCube, and PS2 right there. Moving across, we'll go down, then up. We've got all of my PS4 games here, as well as some PS5 games as well. I pretty much keep all of my current versions of games on that shelf. Underneath, a couple of shoe boxes. They've just got some Jordan 1s in. Them ones there, and then I got a white pair here. Nothing really to add too much there. If we move up onto my desk, we got the case for my DJI Pocket 2, PS4, PlayStation 4 controller, my iPad, just some miscellaneous stuff here, like a Nintendo Switch case, and just a load of rubbish, to be perfectly honest with you. Going up again, my computer monitor, some speakers, some aftershaves and stuff like that. I've got my mini fridge here, just a few Pepsis in there. Then PlayStation camera. Moving up onto the wall, we got my Amiibo collection. This hasn't really grown much since the last video. I don't think I've really added anything major. Actually, the main thing I have added, this Lego Snorlax that Ellie got me for Christmas. Snorlax is my favourite Pokemon, so it's awesome to have an actual Lego version of him. So yeah, that is pretty cool. Moving over to the wall, we've got my WrestleMania Revenge Tour 2010 poster, a couple of Red Dead Redemption posters, and behind here I got a Lethal Weapon. This is the barbed wired like plank of wood that I hit Zach Rowe with in my final backyard retirement match. That just lives under there. On the top shelf, we got a drawing that my niece Tilly did for me, some Minecraft Lego, my Nintendo Switch box, a few PS3 games, and then mainly it's my Wii U and Wii games up there. Once again, all with custom spines. On the wall, going over the top, I got some photos of me and Ellie that are pretty old now and should probably be updated. But yeah, that sums up pretty much this half of the room. The final thing before I forget, the old JTW Intercontinental Championship hangs on the wall here. This is what I lost in my backyard retirement match to Zach. Now, if we move into the second half of the room, starting off by the wardrobe, on top of there is a load of old tat. I've got a shoe box, some spray, a belt bag. But the coolest thing in here is probably this awesome custom calendar that Ellie got me. It's got an El Jantonio photo on every single month of this year, which is pretty cool. If I flip round here, we've got my PlayStation 5 on top, as well as my Wii U and just my chargers. Moving down the cabinet, we've got my official replica of the WWE Championship spinner belt, the 2014 WWE Championship belt, the 2008 ECW commemorative belt. And finally on the bottom, we've got my custom Daniel Bryan eco-friendly belt, which pretty much launched this channel. If I go to the left, we've got my El Jantonio green attire with my new mask here. This is the version 3, made just slightly differently. The main difference is the star LJ logo on the forehead is much bigger. I've also got my Uno Dos 3 tights and the El Jantonio trunks in there. If we move up again, we've got my brand new El Jantonio mask. This is the black, red, and gold. And yeah, this is a hell of a mask. I'm a big fan of that. That's what I won my first championship in. We got some gold El Jantonio trunks as well as some red tights. Now moving up, this one is has a funny backstory behind it. This is a kid-sized WWE belt. But it's not just a kid-sized WWE belt. This is the Wet Cake Pro Championship. This, ladies and gentlemen, is an officially recognised pro wrestling championship on cagematch.net, the biggest wrestling database in the world. Now guys, Wet Cake Pro Wrestling is an awesome 18+ comedy show. It's the sister promotion of Sacrifice Pro Wrestling, and they run one show a year. This year, I was fortunate enough to be part of the Wet Cake Pro Champion Bridge, also known as, well, for me this year, El Suspensio. And essentially, it was just me and 2 other guys strapped together with a resistance band who are unbeatable. So that's how I technically won, or am the interim Wet Cake Pro Champion, and I had to commemorate it by replicating the belt. And yeah, that's the Wet Cake Pro belt. But speaking of Sacrifice, moving up, ladies and gentlemen, this is the official Ultimate Sacrifice Championship, designed by Hellfire Designs, I believe made by Royal Belts. This is the championship that I won, the first championship that I have won. On the side, you can see I got my El Jantonio custom side plates on there. That's on both sides. This is a beauty. It's the first real belt I own, and I mean that by saying it's not a replica. It's got proper thick metal plates, properly plated, a real leather strap. This thing is awesome. And yes, as of right now, the time of recording, I am the current Ultimate Sacrifice Champion. And when you're a champion in wrestling, you get to take the belt home for most promotions. So here it sits proudly in my cabinet. And this left cabinet has basically become an El Jantonio shrine. Moving up, we got my TV. I got a Philips Amberlight TV. It's a brand new one. This is mainly the newest thing in my room. It basically means I've got lights around it. They're not on right now, but the lights reflect what happens on the screen. It's pretty cool, and it's a 55-inch TV. If we go over here, this is all Ellie's stuff, so I'm not going to get into it too much, but Ellie's drawers, we've got a mushroom from Mario, Ellie's Minecraft skin as like a soft toy, and then a Build-A-Bear. Moving over, once again, Ellie's stuff. But on top of it, we've got my Nintendo Switch, like Joy-Con grip. We got my Amazon Echo, Alexa, hello.
How do?
Okay, a photo collage that I made for Ellie and I. Moving up the wall again, some kickboxing certificates. The old YouTube promo championship from 2019 that I won when I won the Kip Clips promo competition. This is a handmade belt by me. You can actually watch how I made all of my belts on this channel. So if you want to watch those videos, go and check them out. A commemorative JTW Backyard Wrestling like plaque thing that I had made. Obviously JTW Backyard Wrestling was where I started before I turned pro, so it's always good to remember where you came from. My custom Deku shield from The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And then on the wall above my bed, we got the JTW Tag Team Championships. Zach Rowe and I were the final champions, so I've got those on my wall as well. Once again, these are also handmade wooden belts. I didn't make a video of how to make those on the channel, as it's pretty similar to how I made the Daniel Bryan belt and how I made the promo belt, and I thought it just didn't really warrant its own video. Down onto my bed, nothing really to add here. I've got a cushion of the blue shell from Mario Kart, a cushion of Snorlax. Underneath him's a donut pillow from Universal Orlando, and then I've got a red shell cushion as well. Also on the side of my wardrobe, I've got a Gryffindor flag from the Harry Potter Studio Tour. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is essentially it. That was the 2025 Joe Talks Wrestling Room Tour. It's probably going to be a bit shorter than the previous ones. I've just said that and I've just realised I forgot to show you this. If I flip the camera around again, this is obviously just my chest of drawers on the side. I've got PlayStation controller, Nintendo Switch dock. I've got 2 of these. One's for my TV over there, and then I've got a Nintendo Switch dock here. The HDMI runs all the way around the room, up the back, and into the TV. It's not currently plugged in, it's just loose on the floor. But yeah, it's so I can play my Switch on both TVs. But yeah, this time round, I'm pretty certain that was it. That was the 2025 Joe Talks Wrestling Room Tour. I hope you enjoyed. I do enjoy doing these videos every year. And, you know, as much as there has only been minor changes this time round, I think it's still cool for you guys to see the room evolve, the room change as time goes on. You know, I don't know how many more years I'm going to be in this house. I never know what's going to happen, so... As well, it's a cool thing for me to look back on in the future. You know, looking back at like my 2017 room tour, for example, it's wild to me how much has changed since that time in my life. So I like recording, you know, yearly, and I can give a good update on everything that's changed in my room. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Once again, this was the 2025 one. Hopefully, if nothing changes, I'll see you guys next year for the 2026 room tour. I've been Joe from Joe Talks Wrestling. You guys have been awesome. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.